Before the towering tyrants of the Cretaceous, before the long-necked giants of the Jurassic, there was another world. A world teeming with life so strange, so alien, it almost defies imagination. This was the Paleozoic era, a time that spanned hundreds of millions of years. And it was brought to life with breathtaking detail in the BBC documentary series, Walking with Monsters. This landmark series took us on an extraordinary journey through time, revealing the incredible story of life on Earth long before the first dinosaur ever walked the land. It was a time of evolutionary experiments, of bizarre creatures locked in a struggle for survival in primordial seas and newly formed forests. In this video, we will revisit that incredible journey. We will explore some of the most fascinating and formidable animals that the series introduced to us. From the very first super predators lurking in Cambrian oceans to the giant insects that dominated lush tropical swamps, these creatures were the pioneers of our planet. They were the ancestors of everything that was to come, laying the very foundations for the age of reptiles and eventually our own. The story of life is a long and dramatic one, and its earliest chapters are perhaps its most compelling. So, join me as we step back in time, hundreds of millions of years, to witness the rise and fall of these prehistoric marvels. We will look at the unique adaptations that allowed them to thrive in a world that was constantly changing, a world of immense challenges and incredible opportunities. Prepare to meet the true monsters of Earth's ancient past, the stars of a drama that played out long before the dinosaurs stole the show. This is the story of life's first giants, its first hunters, and its first explorers. Our journey begins over 500 million years ago, in the warm, shallow waters of the Cambrian period. Here, in this explosion of life, we find our first subject, Anomalocaris. Its name means abnormal shrimp, and for good reason. For a long time, its fossilized parts were found separately and mistaken for different animals. Its circular mouth was thought to be a jellyfish, its grasping appendages the tails of a shrimp. Only when a complete fossil was discovered did the true nature of this animal become clear. It was the world's first great predator, a creature unlike anything alive today, reaching up to a meter in length, a true giant for its time. With two large, stalked compound eyes, each containing thousands of lenses, Anomalocaris had superb vision, allowing it to spot prey with deadly accuracy in the murky water. From the front of its head extended two formidable spiny appendages. These were not for walking, but for seizing. It would snatch unsuspecting trilobites and other Cambrian swimmers, bringing them towards its fearsome square-shaped mouth, which was lined with sharp, tooth-like plates. Anomalocaris was the undisputed king of the Cambrian seas, a revolutionary hunter that set the stage for an evolutionary arms race between predator and prey that continues to this very day. We move forward in time some 100 million years to the Devonian period, the age of fishes. The rivers and estuaries are now home to a new kind of animal, one with an internal skeleton. This is Cephalaspis, the head shield. It was a small, unassuming, jawless fish, spending its days sifting through the mud on the riverbed for organic debris. It had no jaws to bite with, instead using a muscular mouth to suck up its food. While it may seem primitive, Cephalaspis represented a significant step in vertebrate evolution, a blueprint for the backboned animals that would one day conquer the planet. Its most striking feature, of course, was its heavy crescent-shaped head shield. This was not just ornamentation, it was a vital piece of defensive armor. The Devonian waters were a dangerous place filled with powerful predators like the giant sea scorpions, the Eurypterids. This bony shield protected its head and vital organs from attack, but it may have had another function. Embedded within the armor were sensory pits which could have detected vibrations in the water, helping Cephalaspis find food and, more importantly, sense the approach of danger long before it was seen. It was a creature built for survival in a perilous world. The late Devonian, around 360 million years ago, a monumental event is taking place. Life is beginning to conquer the land, and one of the pioneers of this great invasion is a creature named Hynopeton. It was not quite a fish, and not quite an amphibian. It was a tetrapod, one of the very first vertebrates with 4 distinct limbs. Its skeleton shows a crucial development. Powerful shoulders disconnected from the skull which allowed its head to turn independently. This was a vital adaptation for looking around on land, a very different environment from the water it came from. Hynopaton still spent much of its life in the water. It had a tail fin for swimming, and likely returned to the water to reproduce, much like modern amphibians. But it also possessed robust, finger-like digits on its limbs and lungs to breathe air. These features allowed it to haul itself out of the water, perhaps to escape aquatic predators or to find new food sources among the invertebrates that had already colonized the land. Hynopaton was a bridge between two worlds, a living, breathing testament to one of the most significant transitions in the history of life on Earth. It was taking the first tentative steps for all land vertebrates to come. For Hynopaton, the land offered a temporary refuge, and for good reason. Lurking in the same freshwater ecosystems was a truly terrifying predator, Hyneria. This was a colossal, lobe-finned fish, a giant that could grow to over 4 meters long and weigh more than 2 tons. It was the apex predator of the Devonian rivers and swamps, a muscular, powerful hunter armed with a mouth full of large, sharp fangs. Nothing in its environment was safe. Its name, fittingly, comes from the village of Hyner, Pennsylvania, near where its fossils were first discovered. Hyneria was perfectly adapted for hunting in the murky, shallow waters it called home. It had small eyes, suggesting it relied on other senses, perhaps a keen sense of smell or an ability to detect water pressure changes with its lateral line system. It was an ambush predator, using its powerful fins to launch itself with explosive speed at its prey. And its prey included the early tetrapods, like Hynopaton. In Walking with Monsters, we see this dramatic relationship play out as Hyneria lunges from the water, a stark reminder that the journey onto land was not just one of opportunity, but one driven by the constant terrifying pressure of predation. We now enter the Carboniferous period, around 320 million years ago. The seas are now home to a proliferation of sharks, but one of them stands out as particularly strange. This is Stethacanthes. It was a relatively small shark, about the size of a modern cat shark, but its appearance was anything but ordinary. While its body was typically shark-like, the male of the species possessed one of the most bizarre structures ever seen on a vertebrate. On its back, where one would expect a normal dorsal fin, was a flat anvil-shaped platform, covered in enlarged tooth-like scales called denticles. The purpose of this strange fin-brush complex remains a subject of intense scientific debate. The top of the shark's head was also covered in a similar patch of rough denticles. Some paleontologists suggest it was used in mating rituals, perhaps for display or for the male to latch onto the female. Others theorize it could have been a form of defense, making the shark look larger or more intimidating to potential predators. It might even have been used to startle prey. Whatever its function, the anvil fin of Stethacanthes makes it one of the most enigmatic and visually striking creatures of the ancient oceans, a true paleontological puzzle. Our journey takes us to the Permian period, the final chapter of the Paleozoic era, beginning around 299 million years ago. The continents have merged to form the supercontinent of Pangaea, and on this vast landmass, a new kind of animal reigns supreme. This is Dimetrodon, with its sprawling legs and a magnificent sail of skin supported by long neural spines. It is often mistaken for a dinosaur, but Dimetrodon is not a dinosaur. In fact, it is more closely related to us, to mammals, than it is to any reptile. It belongs to a group called the synapsids, the dominant land animals of the Permian. Dimetrodon was a formidable predator, the largest of its time, reaching over 3 meters in length. Its powerful jaws were filled with teeth of different sizes, sharp canines for piercing and shearing teeth for slicing flesh, a feature that gives it its name, meaning two measures of teeth. The most iconic feature, its sail, was likely used for thermoregulation. By turning it towards the sun, Dimetrodon could warm its blood quickly, becoming active earlier in the day than its cold-blooded prey. It was a highly successful and sophisticated hunter, the undisputed king of the Permian landscape. During the Carboniferous period, around 340 million years ago, the Earth was a very different place. Vast, humid swamps covered much of the globe, and the atmosphere was rich in oxygen, far richer than it is today. This high oxygen level allowed one group of animals to grow to truly gigantic proportions, the arthropods, and the most impressive of them all was Arthropleura. This was a colossal relative of modern millipedes and centipedes, a creature that could grow to be over 2.5 meters long, making it the largest known land invertebrate of all time. With its long, segmented body, protected by tough armored plates, Arthropleura would have been an incredible sight, moving through the dense undergrowth of the coal forests. Despite its intimidating size, it was most likely a herbivore, feeding on the decaying plant matter that littered the forest floor. Fossilized trackways show its many legs moving in unison, carrying its immense body through the ferns and club mosses. Arthropleura was a true giant of its age, a product of a unique moment in Earth's history when the air itself fueled a world of colossal, creepy crawlies, a monster that thrived in a world without vertebrate competition on land. The creatures we have revisited today, from the alien Anomalocaris to the giant Arthropleura and the sailback Dimetrodon, represent just a fraction of the life that flourished in the immense spans of time before the dinosaurs. They were the pioneers, the innovators, the rulers of a world we can now only glimpse through the fossil record. Each one played a crucial role in the grand narrative of evolution. They forged the predator-prey dynamics. They were the first to breathe air and walk on land, and they established the lineages that would ultimately survive cataclysmic extinctions to give rise to the animals we know today. These ancient monsters shaped the very course of life on Earth. Their successes and failures paved the way for the age of reptiles, and their legacy is written into the DNA of almost every complex animal on the planet, including ourselves. They demonstrate the incredible creativity and resilience of life, its ability to adapt and thrive in even the most challenging and bizarre of environments. Understanding their world is essential to understanding our own, a reminder that our planet's history is far deeper and stranger than we can often imagine. The age of dinosaurs was merely one act in a much, much longer play. If this journey into the deep past has sparked your curiosity, I wholeheartedly encourage you to watch the full Walking with Monsters series. It is an immersive, educational, and truly spectacular experience that brings this lost world to life with scientific rigor and stunning visuals. It offers a profound appreciation for the incredible story of life on our planet and the magnificent beast that once called it home. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of Earth's first giants.